Hi, welcome to Andrew Buckle book review of Essential Showcase 1956 to 1959. This is from DC Comics, 196 pages, and the book came out 1992. Now it's got, 196. Doesn't feature everything that I think it should, but it does feature certainly a number of decent stories from the early Showcase. Showcase came out in 1955-56 and was, of course, the first. Issue 4 was where Flash appeared, so it was the start of the Silver Age for DC Comics. And it's got obviously a bit of detail about that on the back. You can see at this point, you've got Green Lantern, you've got Atom, Metal Man. Unfortunately, none of these characters appear. It just mentions on the back, but it does feature a few ones like Lois Lane and a few others. So let's just go through the book. First, you can see here, it's a paperback book, obviously a soft cover. And you've got here all the details, of course, of all the various people involved. And then through to this. You can see the firefighters. Now, that was Showcase issue 1. Then at issue 4, you had the Flash. And then you've got Challenges of the Unknown, of course, Jack Kirby. Some great Jack Kirby artwork. And also you've got Lois Lane. And also the Flash again, Challenges of the Unknown. Now, in many ways, I wish they had actually gone for the Green Lantern, of course, some other ones as well, instead of just going, of course, through the same characters. Would have been a bit more, but still, got Flash there again. And also Adventures on Other Worlds, better known as Adam Strange. And also you've got the covers. You've got a load of covers. Now, it does show some of the covers, tantalisingly. You've got here Showcase 20, Whip Hunter, and Rip Hunter. Now, a lot of these are available, of course, in various showcases. Hopefully, at some point, they'll be available in the new DC Finest. And some are probably available elsewhere, of course, in omnibus editions and also archives and so on. Here's the introduction by Paul Kupperberg, and that's quite a nice detailed introduction about all the various things at that time. And of course mentions about the issue 1 all the way through to issue 93, Manhunter 2070. I think I've got that issue somewhere. And it's got a bit more about Showcase, all the various Showcase books. Now, I love the Showcase series. I picked up quite a lot over the years. I remember like Dolphin comes to mind. Obviously, many of the sort of like Creeper and all those sort of ones. Lots and lots of great issues. And I always thought it was a great idea. Something that really Marvel never really did. Now, please put in the comments below if there was actually a sort of equivalent you can think of as a sort of showcase for Marvel characters. They might have had a few, but it wasn't particularly the same as, of course, DC's brilliant Showcase magazine. Now, there is a Showcase, Present Showcase in black and white, but there's no omnibus edition. And again, this is a series I would love to see in the DC Finest. It'd be nice if they went from 1, 2, 3. Obviously, for licensing reasons, there's going to be a few gaps. Dr. No comes to mind, unless that was in Brave and the Bold. Now, it's another series, of course, I'd love to see. There should have been an essential Brave and the Bold. But you've got Firefighter. Now, I'm just going to quickly show a bit of it, and then I'm just going to go through the ones that were actually in the first couple of issues of Showcase. And you've got there Fireman, Farrell, School for Smoke Eaters. Not particularly good, but there it's obviously, that's what they wanted. Back in that day, there was obviously that early story, it was a Frogmen story, but they don't include that. It's not included, which is weird. Still, great artwork. Very, very nice, clean artwork there. And a nice snapshot of a very early issue. One that probably isn't that often reprinted. I don't know if they've ever brought out a Showcase facsimile, issue 1. Obviously 4 has been done and probably many of the others, but I don't know if Showcase 1 has been in a facsimile format. It's possible. I'm quite certain it has. Showcase The Flash, of course, this is the first. Now, if you've got the omnibus edition, I think the omnibus edition looks cleaner than this, personally, but it's still absolutely fine. Nothing wrong there. Of course, you've got the famous scene there. That is why no one will ever be able to duplicate, except, of course, they have duplicated it many times since. But this is, of course, where he's covered in all those various chemicals. Who knows what was there? Obviously, if he made all that, probably combinations as well to give him super speed. And, of course, his first villain he faced was Turtle Man. What an odd choice to do. But still, you got the Flash, also the next story, because they did them fairly short. So this was obviously like 12 pages. 12 pages for the first Flash. And you got there the Flash for the next one. And then you got, of course, Jack Kirby's Challenger. And I love that one. Challenges of the Unknown. I know a lot of people always think of them as the like, early Fantastic Four, but I never really thought of them as Fantastic. To me, the Sea Devils. Sea Devils was the early Fantastic Four. This Challenge of the Unknown obviously had Jack Kirby, but it still never really struck me as, you got the characters there, obviously they crashed the plane, but it wasn't like suddenly bursting into flames, or there was obviously someone stretching all over the place. But you got that, look at that, the Dragon Seed. And of course there were lots of these monster comics where you had this sort of huge characters, always had a huge monster, very rarely tiny small monsters, probably a few. But there you got there, obviously battling away against this creature. And on to the next story, obviously a futuristic one, which is of course a Ring of Immortality. Obviously the object in the remain chamber, etc., etc. Then we got Superman. Good old Superman. Now, I've just got the Superman Omnibus, the Silver Age one, which I'm looking forward to. Of course, I don't think this is featured in it, which is slightly odd when, of course, you've got Superman, but it doesn't feature everything, I suspect, that Superman appeared in. Obviously, Justice League of America and those sort of things. But you've got Lois Lane there. Again, Mrs. Superman. They did so many of those stories where she would try and find his identity, and she was always just missing the identity. For a key reporter, she was somehow... But still, again, Challenges of the Unknown. Again, you've got another one called Good Old Alien there. This is sort of the day the Earth blew up. And you can see they're obviously doing all the various threshold of space itself. Professor Harrison, they're all that sort of things. Red Ryan, all great names. And Rocky Davis, champion wrestler with Risk That Test, any place, any time. I think that sounds like an advert coming on. But... great artwork, of course. Absolutely superb artwork all the way through the story. And then on to the Flash again. Again, would have been nice if they'd included the Green Lantern. Why not? As well as, of course, the first 3 issues or more that never seem to get reprinted. Is the Flash around the world in 80 minutes. I think that's cool. That would be a good TV series, wouldn't it? As well as a book, of course. And they obviously got the Flash again, Iris, etc. All the various characters. And then on to, which I think is just a weird one, Adventures on Other Worlds. Not Adam Strange, but Adventures on Other Worlds. Presents The Planet and the Pendulum. Of course, the origin story there all through the, obviously, I don't know what, does he get? Yes, he gets, there he is. Gets the ray, zap him at that point. And he turns up, of course, there on the planet. And, of course, he suddenly finds, hang on, this is not particularly looking like Earth at this point. And, of course, can't understand language. I think that's quite good, actually, because that always bugs me in stories. I always think, hang on, they need to occasionally turn around and say, well, there's a translator device or something, because how does everyone always speak English? Or anything. You know, they go to an alien world. I would not be expecting English to be spoken on that world. That would be just so weird, wouldn't it? But look at the great villains there, or I assume they're villains, are they? Vitron is found on a rare type of meteor. Run. It's the presence of Run. Turn it over to us and we will leave you in peace. Otherwise. And of course, he's getting zapped there as well. Doom has begun. Farewell, sorcerer. Some kind of magnetic force. However, once you got to the end, you got some covers. Kings of the Wild. And that was issue 2. That was issue 2. And then you got Manhunters, which was issue 5. Again, stories that some of these I don't think were ever continued in any shape or form. And of course, you've got Frogman there, which I think was issue 3. Yes. And of course, Challengers there. The cover there. Ultivac. I suppose that's quite similar to Vax VMS. Still, Challenges of the Unknown. You've got there Menace of the Ancient Vials. And of course, Flash, Lois Lane. And you've got the Space Rangers. I don't know if they reappeared that often after that. But Space Ranger, you obviously had Space Ranger. Space Ranger. Oh, Adam Strange did get the title there, but not obviously in the early one, Other Worlds. And then, of course, you've got Rip Hunter. There is a showcase, Rip Hunter. Very hard to get. I haven't got a copy of that now. I used to have a copy of that, but I just want to point out the ones that don't. So you've got the first issue, Firefighters. 2 was Kings of the Wild. 3, The Frogman. Now, that one, I think those 3 don't turn up that often. 4 must have been reprinted thousands of times. Don't know how many times, but it's probably one of the most reprinted, I would have thought. The Manhunter, of course, that's one again that I don't think's reprinted that often, if at all. Also, you've got Challengers of the Unknown. You've got The Flash again. Issue 9 and 10 was Lois Lane. Then you've got The Challengers of the Unknown again. Then Flash. Took a bit of time for them to get into, obviously, doing the Flash comic. And then you've got Space Ranger. This one is issue 15 to 16. Adventures on Other Worlds. Of course, Adam Strange, 17 to 19. And then 20 to 21, Rip Hunter, Time Hunter. Then we've got Green Lantern, of course, the classic Green Lantern there. Then Rip Hunter comes back in again. Then the Sea Devils. I love the Sea Devils. Of course, there is a showcase book of that. Really worth picking up. Probably for me, some of the best artwork they ever produced. DC Comics. I just love that book. It's just an absolutely brilliant. Russ Heath, of course, masterpiece. Sea Devils, a team of scuba diving adventurers. They often battled very weird and wonderful creatures. And they sort of really do remind me of the Fantastic Four. And they were predates Fantastic Four as well. Then you've got Aquaman and Aqualad. Now, I'm looking forward to those being reprinted in the upcoming DC Finest. Can't wait for that to come out. Then we've got The Atom. Yes, another series I would love to see being put into a DC Finest. Now, that, of course, was showcased as well earlier on. And also, obviously, Archives as well. Also, The Metal Men. That would be nice to see another copy. And then Tommy Tomorrow of the Planeteers. And then James Bond. If they ever do a showcase omnibus collection, which I would love to see, I suspect that one probably is not going to be included. Maybe. I don't know. But I suspect not. Never read it. Never seen a copy of it. Obviously, it's very collectible, I imagine. Tommy Tomorrow again, 44. Then Sergeant Rock. Tommy Tomorrow of the Planeteers. He came back. Cave Carson. Now, a character again that not familiar totally with, an I Spy. Then you've got, weirdly, G.I. Joe. I don't know if that was the equivalent of Action Man. And also Dr. Fate and the Owlman. It was sort of brave and bold, I guess, in many ways. The Enemy Ace. Then Teen Titans. I had that issue a long time ago. And Spectre, Inferior 5. Brilliant. Spectre again. And then you've got Buana Beast. And also The Maniacs, Leave It to Blinky, and so on. So there's lots and lots of these different series that I would love to have seen in this book. But still, it's a fairly thin book. You can see this one is not a huge one. It's very nice collection. And I was really pleased to pick it up. But I was hoping, and I didn't check to be honest, that it would have had a few more of the obscure ones, more than the sort of the obvious one, Flash. I should have guessed probably from the cover here, Challengers of the Unknown, etc. Flash, and of course Flash again, and Superman there, very tiny Superman, just with DC there. But it does mention, I say, it's one of those ones you think, oh, would it be nice if they brought out a Brave and the Bold? Well, that would have been good. They probably would have gone, of course, for the Justice League of America, etc. from that one. But still, have you got this one? Have you picked this one up? Is it available in hardback? I don't really know. I'm not really certain if I've seen it in paperback. Now, they did a series of these lovely books. I got a few of these. Of course, the Golden Age one, 1940s one. There's also a 1950s one of DC that I really love. And I would love to see more of these sort of collections where they're sort of and that's what I'm hoping for DC Finest. Truly hope the DC Finest, especially 600 pages, really hope it's going to be real nice quality paper in a really reasonably affordable book. And I've got about 4 or 5 or 6 maybe on pre-order, and I think the first one comes out in December, so that's something to really look forward into as a winter Christmas present. So showcase 1956 to 1959, probably that the reason for limiting it to Rip Hunter. Maybe Rip Hunter was 1960, I don't know. Still, would have been nice if they'd extended it to a few others as well. Totally recommend.